So we'll answer questions 7 and 8 from your practice test here. So g of x is a function that's defined by an integral. So you might like to write this out. I've been asked to find g of 0. That's going to be the integral from -3 to 0 of f of t dt. So what does that mean? That means the area between the x-axis, or in this case the t-axis, and the function f from -3 to 0. Now double check. Are these limits in order? -3 is smaller and 0 is bigger, so that's fine. It's just going to be then between -3 and 0 is the area of that trapezoid. Well, the trapezoid lies below the x-axis, so my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to multiply the height, which is 2, times the average of the bases is 1, 2, 3 spaces across, and 1 space across. The average of 3 and 1 is 2. My answer here is -4. I've been asked to find g of -3. That's going to be easy. That means the integral from -3 to -3 of f of t dt. But notice that that was a -3. My lower limit and my upper limit match, which gives an area of 0. G of 5, this is going to be the integral from -3 to 5 of f of t dt. That's going to equal, again, those limits are in order. -3 is smaller and 5 is bigger. That's going to be the -4 for that trapezoid that's underneath the x-axis. It's going to be a negative whatever the area of that trapezoid is. So I'm going to subtract, that's a height of 2 times the average of 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3 over 2, 3. And then I'm going to have to add in the area of this triangle, which covers the 2 to 5. So I'm going to add 1/2 times 1, 2, 3. Across the bottom is 3. Half times 3 times the height is 4. So that's 2 times 3 is 6. So it's -7 plus 6 equals -1. Now I've been asked to find g prime of 2. I have to take the derivative first off to find an expression for g of x. So g prime of x. G prime of x. I've been asked to take the derivative of an integral. The lower limit is a constant. The upper limit is just a regular plain x. So g prime of x is going to equal f of x. Oops. So g prime of 2 is going to equal f of 2. Well, I happen to have a picture of f. Here's the place where x equals 2, f of 2 equals 0. Now check out problem 8. Let g of x be this problem, this function, defined up here. For what value of x does g have a relative minimum? Well, think back to your blue paper. G has a relative minimum wherever g prime changes from negative to positive. I know that g prime of x equals f of x. I highly recommend on the AP test that you write this fact. Show the relationship between g and f. So given that g prime of x equals f of x, I would type out my answer like this. So this is my final answer. G has a relative minimum at x equals 2 because g prime of x, which equals f of x, changes from negative to positive there. So there's two things we have to do. We have to make sure that we have indicated that we know the relationship between g and f. The derivative of g equals f. And we have to indicate that we remember from the blue paper that a function has a relative minimum when its derivative, in this case g prime of x, which equals f of x, changes from negative to positive.